Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys? This is obviously is Saturday when you are getting this. So this is the Bravo episode, and we are Bravo. We're Black, and we got a little extra Black people with us. So to make this an extra Black episode and give our extra Black thoughts, we have been trying to link with these two for so long, and we finally did, and we're so excited about it because you guys already know them. They've been on the scene longer than we've been on the scene, and they cover so many things. My favorite thing that you guys cover are the dating shows, but that's just a personal favorite. But from Two Black Girls, One Rose, we have Natasha and Justine. Hello and welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having us.
Yes, so excited to finally be here. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. You know, y'all know this is the Bravo episode too, so we're going to talk Bravo. We're going to ask them about how they got their start and get to know them a little bit. And, you know, what's on the roster? I'd say Potomac, maybe a little Salt Lake City.
And we might get into a little bit of Beverly Hills. So but before we even jump into that, you know, we got to give out our roses. I know you usually have one rose, but we got two roses for y'all. You guys have been killing the game when it comes to reviews, whether it's Bravo, whether it's the dating shows, whether it's talking about, you know, being Black in reality shows or just being Black in general. But you also just have these, you know, relatable thoughts and hilarious, like, observations on these shows. You are like the goals and the beacons of what I think when I want like a Patreon following. Like everyone is on your Patreon. You know, you have a loyal legion of fans, and also just with Patreon in general. Anytime I see Patreon, I see y'all's faces. I see y'all's podcasts. Like you guys have really been killing it, and I just want to give you your props. So obviously, we just want to, for those who don't know, let them know. Like, how did you guys get your start? How do you know each other? Like, let's just pretend that we are starting from square one.
Well, thank you so much. That was really, really kind. We are celebrating our 6 years, which is, we just celebrated our 6th year doing this, which is nuts. But yeah, Justine and I, we go way back. We were friends in high school. So this is like my friend, like for real. And in high school, we bonded over TV. Our little origin story we like to share is she had the Laguna Beach DVDs. I got wind of that and then started hanging out with her in the student lounge after school. We'd watch Laguna Beach and talk together. And so we've been doing this for a while, watching messy white people on TV and talking shit. Like, this is the basis of our friendship. But yeah, we started out in 2017 as a Bachelor podcast. I've always watched The Bachelor, just like a guilty pleasure show that I would always watch. Justine has a little different of a relationship with Bachelor.
Yeah, I would watch the last 2 episodes to see who was crying and who would be on Dancing with the Stars. That was my show. Yeah.
But Rachel Lindsay was named first Black Bachelorette, and we made like a whole like thing of it. You know, I would go to her apartment on Mondays, bring the wine. Then she would come to my apartment afterwards, bring the wine, and then we'd be up till the episode would end at 10. But I'd still be at her apartment at like 12, 1 o'clock, and we'd just be kikiing and talking about the show and just really diving into it. And it was around that time we realized Bachelor Nation had a ton of Bachelor podcasts, but when you would listen to them, recapping Rachel's season, it was like they were watching a whole different show. Like, they were not talking about the things that we were talking about. And so, yeah, we were like, let's start a podcast. Like, we can do this. If no one listens to it, at least our moms will. And so bought some little microphones from Amazon, hooked it up, and then just got to yapping. And we started that next season. Ari, he's like the whitest man on earth. And we started with his season. And we were like drunk as shit in that first season, just drinking wine and talking mess. Yeah. And yeah, since then we've just, we still do The Bachelor, but we've expanded. So we do a lot of reality dating. It's our first season of covering Potomac and diving into Bravo world. And yeah, we've a a beautiful community on Patreon. We have a lot of fun on Instagram. And yeah, we watch a lot of TV. So we just try to have fun and talk about it.
What you basically described was our friendship.
Yeah.
Like, we've known each other since high school.
High school?
And that's how we even started doing this, because, well, we did it much later. But we started our, podcast from the pandemic. We had nothing else to do. We were just talking about, hey, did you see that episode? Yeah, did you see that episode? Hey, what does it take to start a podcast? And we Googled it, and they're like, anyone can start one. But what a great, origin story. And that's why your dynamic is so natural and easy and fun to listen to and fun to watch, and why you have such a loyal following. And that what you just said about, are you watching the same show, is how we feel about Bravo. And it's just your roots in starting in Bachelor was our roots in starting in Bravo.
I know. We felt, honestly, today we're the Blacks of Bachelor Nation coming to talk with the Blacks of Bravo. And
exactly.
Let's just talk about this experience of being these white ass faces and making our way there. So I love that.
Listen, and I want to know too, at what point did you guys see success and really think, I want to keep going with this podcast, we got a following now? And also, what did that feel like?
It was really bizarre because we had success almost instantly. And I just told this story actually to someone who isn't really on social media or whatever. And she was like, oh, you guys blew up on social media? Nope, we had no Instagram. We only had Twitter. We only live tweeted. And I would be at Natasha's house during us taking notes, and we would sit next to each other taking notes silently. And we would both be tweeting with different GIFs and stuff like that. And we saw success within the first month of us putting out episodes.
That's so rare.
Really successful. Yeah, it's really crazy.
And I think we just didn't sound like anybody else. That's really what it was. We were not the first Bachelor podcast. There's a million of them, but there were none hosted by women of color, and none kind of giving the colorful commentary and talking about different nuances of the show. We're Black women. We can only talk from our own experience and what we see, and so we're literally just speaking about what we see. But if there's no one else that looks like us, then their commentary is not going to sound like us. So it was kind of instant because I think we literally just didn't sound like anybody else. Yeah,
that's so dope. Just a sidetrack before we even get into anything else, did y'all see that interview with Clayton and his whole baby daddy drama?
Oh, but he's going through a lot with that woman. He's been going through a lot with that lady who's just dragging this out for whatever reason.
I know, it's nuts.
It was insane to just watch a clip of it. My friend Kendrick from Reality and Comics 2, he sent me the link to it, and I'm like, oh my god. And of course it's on the Vile Files. And he's just explaining the most odd thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And I'm like, if this happened the way that he said it happened, how did she even get to the point where this is a real thing? She's just
She's on to screenplay writing. She needs to go into story for real stories.
Apply those skills elsewhere.
Ruin somebody's life, write something and sell it.
Exactly.
Her imagination's wild. Yeah.
I'm gonna pretend I know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, you don't know? Don't. You're
stay away.
I know Kay is more of the Bachelorette.
Yeah, I started watching Rachel Lindsay's season, and then
yeah,
that's when I started, because it wasn't for me. I don't, it just didn't really. And then when I finally saw it, I was like, okay, I like her, I love her. And then, especially that episode, I think she found out that they were playing. Were they playing basketball? They were doing some event, and then she had to send one of them home. And I was like, oh, I like her. She's real as fuck for that. But speaking of Rachel Lindsay, she's getting a divorce, and Aaron loves him some Rachel Lindsay.
Oh, really? Oh,
I do. I met her at BravoCon, and she's so nice.
Yeah, she is so nice.
Yeah. She is. We took a picture together and all. Really? And just hearing what she's going through now, I just hate it for her.
Yeah, we all turned on him. I feel like all Bachelor Nation was like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
We knew
I
it
was
was
waiting
shit
for
anyway.
it.
Like,
It was like, say the word. Say the
Yeah.
word.
Say the word.
And he said
Exactly.
it. And it's like, but let's get into it. Okay, Potomac. How did you even get into, like, were you always like a viewer of Housewives? Did you just start, or what's that like, your journey?
I feel like our relationship with Housewives is like the inverse of Bachelor, maybe. Like, I'm a Housewives stan. Like, I'll like win a Housewives trivia night. Like, I'm a Housewives stan. And I know Natasha like picks and chooses her seasons, and it's usually your treadmill show, right, Tash?
Yeah, I don't watch all the seasons. I've watched all of them at some point, and then I've fallen off. So like used to be deep into Beverly Hills, and then kind of fell off at some point. Salt Lake City I gave a try, but then also fell off. But just seeing if there's something crazy that happens, I'll immediately go and watch the episode. I'll watch the reunions and catch up. But at this point, I watch Potomac and New York like religiously, and then I dip in and out of the other ones. Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, so then so Justine, who's your all-time favorite
All-time favorite cast or housewife?
housewife?
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
This is not an easy podcast, baby.
God. This one is so hard.
One, and it doesn't have to be as of right now. Like, I'm talking about all-time
Of all time ever, right? Okay.
favorite. Go to bat for, go to war for.
Yeah, that used to be Erica Jane for me. I loved me some Erica Jane. Oh
You
my
did.
God. Woo!
You really did. Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad what happened with Erica. But she's trying to redeem herself this season.
I was about to say, like, what do you think about this season?
I know. She's trying to make a comeback.
She's doing it.
She is.
Y'all saw how they said that she was hunching on Oliver? And then Oliver was like, I have a girlfriend. And it's not Erica Jane.
I don't think that he would date somebody who cursed out his little brother. I don't know Oliver, but I feel like he wouldn't do that.
Like, that was stupid. Like, I know he may be a cheater, but I feel like it has to stop somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Barstow would not allow that.
That too. I was about to say, I don't think it's
Yeah.
allowed on this.
Natasha, I know that you said that you go in and out, but like from when you were going in and out, or even now, who's your favorite?
Oh my God. We recently did like our Mount Rushmore, and I was trying to remember who was on there. I eat up anything she puts on social. Portia. I will consume anything Portia's selling, showing us. Her life is just so interesting. I think she's hilarious.
She is. I miss
Atlanta has really fell off. I feel like they could just announce that she's back and they'll pick back up the season. Like, I'm a huge Portia fan. I don't know if she's my favorite. It's hard for me to pick one favorite, but I'm a Portia stan. Yeah.
It's going to be Portia, baby. It's going to be Portia. And you know what? That's a good choice because she is hilarious. She is like, I want her back so badly. I watch anything else that she's in. It's just, it just sucks because she just really does not need the money.
It really doesn't.
And it just doesn't need it.
Yeah.
She doesn't. That's true.
Like, because it's just like with Denise Richards. It was like, okay, she was on there, but she don't need the money, so she just left when things got hard. So
I also want her to do a season of Traitors. Like, I would love to see that.
Oh, Portia?
I'm watching those.
I haven't watched. I need to watch trailers. Everybody loves trailers.
Yeah.
I'm watching
wanna
this
see it
season.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. It comes out.
Isn't on Peacock, right? Isn't Phaedra on it?
Phaedra and
Sheree on
Sheree.
it. And Sheree?
Sheree.
Oh, yeah,
It premieres. Well, when you guys listen to this, hope you guys are doing good. It will be out already, but while we're recording this, it comes out at 9 p.m. EST on Peacock. So it's just starting this new season tonight.
Wow.
So you don't have to catch up on anything. You can start with it.
Okay.
So that should be really good. And it was also that's what I literally, okay, so we're on Threads heavily now. And like the way that they promote traders is with Phaedra, of course, because she's like the one-liner queen. And then she's going to be telling, I think it's Peter, she's like, this is not The Bachelor. I don't have to kiss your ass and get a rose. And I would just put that on threads, and it was just like, God, I cannot wait until she says it, what makes her says it, what like prompts her to say that. I want her to say it again. Like, that is so iconic. You know, Larsa's going to be on there. Tamara Judge is on there. Like,
Yikes. Oh boy.
it's going to be a traitorous season.
It's trifling ass women, yes. Oh my God.
So getting into it,
Yeah.
what are y'all thinking about this season of Potomac? Are y'all enjoying it? What are your feelings towards this season?
Yeah.
You know what? These girls, they always get to work. They always get to the good fights. I really wish the fashions were more elevated. I think at this point, Candace and Karen are the queens of fashion. Wendy's like coming up. But the two newbies, it's Mia and NECA, that are killing the vibes this season. They're very unnecessary. We need to get to the bottom of Juan and really Robin. Juan, we already know what the deal is, but Robin, I feel like we need to get to the bottom of, and we're getting distracted by NECA trying to create a storyline out of absolutely nothing, and then Mia getting a divorce, which she doesn't get until the season ends. Like, I just feel like they're distracting from the real point, which is upsetting.
Yeah. I feel, Robin, she just pisses me off. Like, I just don't even know why she came back. She doesn't want to give anything, so then why are you here? And then I agree. I think NECA's not really pulling her weight yet. It was also hard because we did a trip early and she doesn't really know anybody. So her presence in Austin felt kind of awkward. But as Justine said, her and Mia kind of feel like extras. Like, I'm not sure what their value add is. They're kind of just like standing around. And then as far as Ashley and Giselle goes, I want to see their love life. I want to see Ashley date. I want to see Giselle and Jason. Like, that's really all I want to see. Ashley bringing in this NECA story. Like, she's the one that kickstarted the NECA versus Wendy thing. Again, it's like they do a lot of deflecting off of themselves, which is an annoying aspect of Potomac for me currently. And I really want them to just show us their life. Like, I really don't know why. Like, this is what the job is. This is what the housewife, job description is. But yeah, Ashley, I want to see you dating. I don't want to see you making up bullshit storylines. Candace, show us Jason. Show us this, this age gap relationship. That's interesting. That's what we want to see. So that's been a little frustrating. So I'm glad that Austin is now done. They're back in Potomac.
Yes. Finally.
So we'll see. Yeah,
Finally. Austin
for oh my God. Whenever it drags through 2 months, like December to January, I'm like, oh my God, bro, please.
Why are we so...
Andy, please.
It's just like when we go to anytime we go to Kyle's backyard on Beverly Hills.
Oh my God, Kyle's
I was just about to say.
party. Oh my God. Wait, I have a question for you guys about Beverly Hills, though. If I can just
Of
ask
course.
you. We talked earlier in the interview about how we were both like the Black representations for these fandoms of these shows, and also just in the podcast space, in the audio storytelling world, and in the recap world. And for us, we had a lot of really amazing success during Matt James's season, because it was the season where everything went wrong with a Black lead. And people were coming to us for answers for things, and coming to us with questions for things that were way deeper than The Bachelor, right? Yeah. And they were way more intense. And that's because no other podcast could speak on Matt James's season the way that we could speak on it, and kind of like point out the wrongdoings the way that we could point them out. Are you guys feeling that same kind of pressure, especially from your audience, even just on threads, about what's happening now in Beverly Hills?
Well, Beverly Hills specifically, I don't feel like pressure about it. But when it comes to like every time something happens in general, we feel a lot of pressure. What do you guys think about this? Did you see this? Did you see this? Yeah. Do you feel this way? And like, so to answer your specific question with Garcelle, we really don't mind speaking on this situation because, especially me being a Black woman, and where I live, like there's Black people, but it's mainly like it's a white space. And where I went to school, it was a white space. So I have experience with this. So I feel equipped to handle this kind of situation and these exact conversations and these conversations around it. And also when it comes to this specifically, we've had this same situation go on more than once, right?
Yeah.
So, especially just with Beverly Hills, like we had it with Garcelle confronting Kyle about it. Kyle went about it. Even if you want to just say it's for a PR move or she just didn't want no smoke, the way that she went about it was immensely better than the way Dorit is going about it.
Yes, because Dorit's been racist for seasons, years and years and years and years. She's been racist.
Like not everybody is your mama's Black friend.
And not everybody works for you.
Exactly. And it's like, it's also seeing people talk about, oh, well, if I say something against Garcelle, then I'm automatically racist.
Yes.
No.
Right.
If someone's calling you racist, it's probably because you've been saying some racist shit. It's not all off of one person. It's not all off of just this situation with Garcelle. So since we are equipped to handle this conversation, we see so much like vitriol when it comes to Dorit and Garcelle. And it's like, are you watching the same show we are? Because even if I put my put my feet into someone else's shoes, I'm looking at the way that Kyle handled it versus the way Dorit is handling it, saying, but I'm Jewish. It just doesn't make any sense. So like we're able to like relate to that and explain where she went wrong. Even if we don't want to, we just do it because we know so much about it and we feel the same way.
Right. And when you feel that need to like stand up on your platform and say something, is it also because it like the Watch What Crappens, the Bravo Bros, all of those other podcasts really shy away from talking about these things? Whenever I listen to their pods, and I try to keep them in the rotation, but I can't get them for the past couple of weeks, but I haven't heard them address a whole lot. They really tiptoe. They're really on eggshells because they don't have the experience. Do you feel like your platform is the only place where Black people in the podcast space, right, are talking about the Garcelle and Dorit conversation with like direct answers?
Well, no, only and it's only because there are other Black podcasters out there that can speak on it. Like we got Kendrick going, you know, like we have, and it's not just podcasts, it's also like social media is a big part of it. So there's a lot of, you know, people on social media who are not just Black people, but also people of color. But really when it comes to it, it's Black people who have like the most authority on it, right?
Yes.
So we understand that it might be a harder conversation for other people to have, but at the same time, like I don't really listen too much to Bravo Bros, like shout out to them. We just haven't really had an interaction. I know Watch What Crappens, they try to talk about it in a lighter setting, and it's because they don't. It's because they don't know, you know. They know that Dorit is wrong. Like a lot of people have been saying, oh, this is very clear, Dorit is wrong. And then they go about, you know, their pocket. But since, you know, they're not in our shoes, they don't get down to it. Aaron, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the same thing. I think there are plenty of Black podcasters and people on social media that cover this. And I feel like when it comes to those type of shows like Watch What Crappens and people who can't necessarily relate, they try to do the best they can to talk about it without stepping on any toes. But, you know, when it comes to certain subjects, we do address them. Sometimes we do feel a pressure to address certain things, like even with the Dr. Jackie situation. We got a lot of controversy for that. Because I feel like everybody wants you to be on the same page as the public.
And we keep saying that Black people are not a monolith. Just like we just had a situation with the whole Dr. Jackie thing, and that was very hard to navigate.
Extremely hard, because we feel like sometimes we can't have our own opinion. I think that's the one thing that we struggle with when it comes to those type of things.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, what's your opinion about Dorit and Garcelle in their lunch conversation?
I feel like when it comes to Dorit, she's so quick to get offended. That is the biggest thing. She's not really fully understanding and listening to what Garcelle is saying. Mm-hmm. It's just all this other stuff that she's trying to throw in to make it seem to play victim, I feel. Mm-hmm. And she's still not understanding it time and time again. And I really don't think it's going to get anywhere when it comes to Garcelle and Dorit. I think it's one of those things where they're just going to have to agree to disagree. And Garcelle is really just going to see her for who she is. Mm-hmm. Like Kata said, I do appreciate how Kyle handled it. I feel like she handles things a lot differently. But Dorit is just so quick to try to, like, flip it.
Yeah.
I feel like two things can be true at once. And this is what I mean when Black people are not a monolith. Like, I see it, and I'm not a Dorit fan by any. Like, she serves the fashions, just not this season. I feel like Garcelle could simply just not like Dorit. And that's okay. But Dorit is also still wrong. So Dorit is not trying to understand Garcelle. And you could, even if you go, let's just say they had this conversation, they put it to bed, and we don't even talk about it for the rest of the season. But if you go online, Dorit posted on her Instagram. This is my bubble, or this is my privilege. Like, she genuinely does not see what she did wrong. And even if she does, she doesn't care. So it's like, you can say, and I think that was most people's ammo, is just that Garcelle always has a problem with Dorit. All right, she don't like the bitch. Let's just say that's true. But at the same time, Dorit is not trying to understand how she is offensive. She thinks that because she is Jewish and she's a child of the world, that these things do not apply to her. When it's like, girl, if you are a child of the world, then you should be more aware. It's crazy. How do you guys feel about this situation in Beverly Hills?
I think that Dorit is able to weaponize her white woman victimhood because Garcelle was speaking so individually. Because this is clearly the first time Dorit is experiencing whiteness, right? This is like whiteness that's in her face. And not white people, but like the privilege of being white. This is her first time ever experiencing that. And what Garcelle just hasn't had enough like ninja training, like us four on the podcast, where we've been in white spaces our whole life, where she made it really personal. And I understand that she was personally attacked. She is personally attacked by Dorit all season. Every time they're together, Dorit attacks Garcelle, and it's really fucking annoying. She never respects her. It is so obvious how she feels. But because of her making it about her as an individual, then Dorit was able to flip it and say, well, I'm Jewish. That's how she's able to kind of use those very individualistic ideas against Garcelle's, I guess, defense that she shouldn't be saying those things to Black people, not just Garcelle. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know?
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Natasha?
I don't know nearly enough about this situation, but
that's fair.
Dorit, from the little bit I've seen, Dorit seems and sounds like she is just holding on to being willfully ignorant. At some point, you're choosing to be ignorant. We all went through 2020. Garcelle might be your only Black friend, but you have a Black friend. Like, you have somebody there. Why are you choosing to be okay with offending someone and not wanting to learn? At that point, you're choosing. That's a choice. And I've seen some of the headlines of her, Garcelle calling her Karen behavior like unconscious, and like she's just like, oh, I don't know. And at some point, like, we can't keep giving you the sly in the past. It's 2023. Like, I mean, we all went through the same 2020. So I'm like so tired of it. And there's people that just like choose to live in a bubble because they can. So, yeah.
That is fair. And I'm glad that we were able to talk about that with you guys, because it's hard to have those conversations with just me and Aaron, because it's always just me and Aaron. So we're like, okay, let's check in. Let's do a temp check.
We're like, we just want to have some fun and just see where the day takes us.
Just like, and then as a whole, when things like this happen on Bravo, this wasn't like, this is serious, but it wasn't like, Salt Lake City serious, Dallas. Dallas serious. Yeah. So it's just like, people want us to talk about certain things all the time. And I'm like, we're sometimes just here for the giggles, you know? Like,
they like a lot of black rage, a lot of rage.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Like, that's something Justine and I have tried to really protect, is just protecting the joy. At the end of the day, we're talking about these kind of like pop culture-y fun shows. Sometimes they're not so fun and they talk about racism and things like that. But at the end of the day, like, this is not a podcast for educational purposes. You're coming here to laugh. And so we're really trying to protect that as much as possible. And
it's a balance. You gotta balance it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So speaking of, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna like further into Potomac. What do you guys think about the
Mugler bodysuit?
All the bodysuits.
Are y'all started? That's a good question. Are y'all started seeing those bodysuits? Because I know I ain't.
So tired.
Oh my God, Aaron! We just said on our podcast how Wendy just knew she was eating with this Mugler bodysuit on, because it was new when she bought it 6 months ago when they filmed this, and now it's been copied by so many. I'm sure you can get it on Shein. I'm positive.
Definitely. Fashion Nova.
$7.98. So now everybody's worn it. It's so sad.
At least she was in Mugler, I guess.
Yeah.
Just sunglasses.
Give her that. She looks cute.
It was cute. He had a bob wig. It was nice.
Did y'all agree with the thumbs down though?
No, that was crazy.
Yeah.
We said on our podcast too, I don't know where you guys live. We're in the New York area. There would never be an occasion where there's 3 straight women up on a stage at a drag show. Never. Because straight women in drag shows and gay bars cause havoc and chaos. So there's never more than.
Okay, we're in South Florida, so I feel like there would be street.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's. But speaking of, and I love me some Bryn, so don't get me. I love Bryn, but she did like an interview, and she was like, "I think that more straight women should be on Grindr," and I'm like,
"What,
Bryn? Please. It was insane. But I just didn't understand. I think that what was more shocking to me was that Wendy had never been to a drag show.
Yeah,
that was more.
That made me sad for her. That made me feel sad for her.
Yeah, and you're a housewife. Like, isn't that like a rite of passage? Like,
yeah. Oh my God. How's Karen's 60th birthday is what brought you to the drag show? That's so sad. Where have you been living? How have you been living? What the hell? She's near DC. It's a major city. Like, what?
Okay, but can I make a case for y'all? Because you gave us your opinion. Can I make a case for Mia?
For Mia? Okay, what's the case?
I would like to present a case for Mia because I just started liking her. And I think that this season, she actually may not be getting the camera time that she deserves, or maybe she's been edited out, because I think that what she's going through is actually raw and real. And that's why she came to Robin with it, with that whole, okay, we know about the money has been stolen. We're seeing a problem in their marriage. We're seeing like she's straight up showing us that, hey, I got a divorce attorney. Like, I think that Mia is giving it her all. And we might not be seeing it because of maybe the editing. They're trying to force this, storyline between Nneka and Wendy. But I think the case for Mia is that she's always wanted to seek sisterhood within the group, but the group is always beefing, so she don't know where to go. And then she's going through something, and she's telling us while she's with Gordon, and she's showing us that she's about to break up with Gordon, and then on social media she has her new man. So I think that Mia is being transparent, and she has a good storyline that we should be following. What do y'all think about that, or was that still not enough?
I think all of that makes sense. I think Mia could be interesting, but they're not giving it to us for whatever reason. I mean, her marriage is literally breaking down. You do bring up a great point as to why we're not seeing that exactly, particularly since there's been, we've all been up in arms over not seeing Robin and Juan. What happened there? We have one happening. Why aren't they showing it to us? And I do agree that Mia, she has been always uniquely very transparent. That's like her thing. Like she wants to say it first before you use it against her.
She was the original Monica, in my opinion, from Salt Lake City.
Oh my God!
Despite I don't know if she has a page, I don't know, but as far as like Monica would be like, yeah, so I slept with and then Mia would be like, yeah, so they served steak and lobsters, but I was also kind of a stripper, but I wasn't a stripper, but I was a stripper, and it was just, and we do threesomes, and she was just everything, especially with her and Jackie. So Mia has been, ever since she came on the show, I feel like not only has she been transparent, but she also has had decent storylines.
That's a good point. I don't know why they're not showing that this season.
I would love to see more of the Jackie storyline, because the breakdown of the two friends who were clearly fucking her husband, obviously. I think that is so fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see more of that. If my friend of 20, oh my God, if my friend of 20 years and I were like, oh yeah, like, you want a car?
Right.
Like, what the hell is going on?
I would love to know more about that.
Oh God.
And it's about to get even better too, because I got some tea.
Go ahead.
The next season. So I got this DM the other day.
Shout out to me.
I know the
Y'all
DMs.
been sending me messy stuff lately. And Mia recently did a post and delete. And it was her, it was the new man, and it was the old man, and they were all together.
Wait,
Portia style?
Yeah.
I know Portia style, right?
Portia style.
And they were all together. It was a post and delete, and then she took it down.
Did you know what the caption said?
Let me actually pull it up here.
Please do, because I did not see that.
And her new guy, did I read this correctly? That's like her high school sweetheart? Like they know each other from way back.
Apparently, they know each other from back in the day, and he's also, I don't know if he's a radio personality or...
He's a radio host of some kind.
Media.
Like, he has,
It says lead with love. And it's like a little video of them and the kids. And in the background, she's playing the Sierra and Chris Brown song. And that's just how they roll. Yeah,
Chris Brown?
What is going on?
This story has it all.
Oh my God.
Wow. Okay, so she's pulling a Dolores. Okay. She just got all her hair.
A Dolores, a Portia, I'd say.
A Portia,
and a Portia too. Yeah.
So it seems like they figured it out. Which is why I'm excited. Like, I'm ready to see what she has for next season.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's just hurry up. And so
hurry up to exactly get us there already.
So, in your opinion, what would make next season of Potomac better? Who are we keeping? Who are we giving away? Who should we cast? Like, what are your opinions on what can make Potomac great again?
That's a great question.
I think there's a new girl coming. There's a fight coming on the
club.
War fight at the club on the way with the lady who owns the med spa.
Kiara.
Kian, it's something.
Yeah,
Liked her though. For the
they were
seconds she was
hustling
on camera. Yeah, I liked her. She was Wendy's friend, which I love also. And I feel like she might be good. I would love a Scala back. I loved Escala.
Oh, I miss Escala.
What did you like about Escala?
She had a really, really handsome husband, and she had great fashions. And we need all of those things in the housewives. We don't need just turmoil and destruction. We need like a nice married fit. You know what I mean? It was nice. And NECA gotta go.
Now that I can wholeheartedly agree with. Yeah.
Right? I'm glad you put your whole heart into it.
Yeah. I can't take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just not genuine, you know? And then the back and forth with Wendy, I just didn't like it.
Right. Like how surprised we all were with Monica, like knowing every single detail about those ladies' lives. The way she hid all of that on the show, that NECA needs to hide. And she's not hiding at all. She's like, I watched season 3, episode 8, and at 58 minutes, like she just knows everything. And it's so annoying and weird. You're a fan.
Knows the formula.
Yeah.
And like you're making the fans it's like you're treating us like we're dumb, and that like we can see you studied the show and you're like trying to act like a housewife. And nobody wants to watch that.
She's a beautiful lady. I love her pictures.
She is also like rich. She brings that opulence to it. She brings like the husband factor. She can't dress, unfortunately. But to be fair, I do think that like, I don't care if she stays or leave, but I will say that Wendy 100% knew her. And, like, you know, she hid that. So I just wanted to say that. But whether that should make her stay or leave, it doesn't matter. It's still, like, you know, the season's not giving what it's supposed to give. But I'm not giving up on them. Some people are just like, oh, wait, throw the whole cast. I'm like, wait, hold on. We have a lot to work with, actually.
Yeah.
We just have to tweak it and reverse it a little bit.
Yeah.
And we'll be good.
Agreed. We can get rid of Robin. I'm good with Robin. She can go. If she doesn't want to work, she can very much go. Yeah.
That's how I feel about Giselle.
Giselle, she another one. Which I know she's like one of the leads. She always sits next to Andy, but like Giselle does not pull her weight. Let's be real.
She hasn't, and Robin has been. I would say Robin has been doing a little bit better. Like as far as her storyline, the whole back and forth with her and Candace.
What, getting hung up on?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's you know, it's better than just like trying to walk in heels like Giselle.
Aaron.
You don't think so?
And I have no business to be laughing because I would fall in those heels.
I know, but it was very challenging. It looked very challenging.
No, because the editors definitely zoomed in.
That's all I know for Giselle, though. And she's not really, she's done with Candace. So it's like, I think she can take a break. I think she can.
She got a season
out.
Yeah. I don't know if they will let her go. I think Robin might be quicker to get the boot, maybe. I think also, I feel like Candace needs a friend. Do you feel like Candace needs a friend to come in?
Yeah, like a good friend, like some
good real friend.
Yeah.
Like someone that you have photographic evidence that you know, and we didn't just say that this was your friend.
The way that the Robin and Giselle have each other, I would love to see Candace with somebody. She gives some of the best quips, the best one-liners. Wendy and her have a vibe, but Wendy needs a new writer or something because she don't really be bringing it with her reads. And Candace even be looking at her sideways sometimes. Like, we supposed to be friends, but like she can't even like co-sign Wendy sometimes. So I'm like, I feel like Candace needs like a buddy, a real, like not the way that Ashley brought in NECA and that was like her friend. I want Candace with a real friend. Like I think that would bring something to this.
Yes, almost like Giselle and Karen. Like you could tell they've been friends for a really long time.
They've been dropping their kids off at the Lynx meetings and going to Jack and Jill stuff. Yeah, like that.
Not the Lynx meeting.
That is so true. And so so we have potential for another season of Potomac. We don't need to do a total reboot. So so name your cast. So are we keeping or getting rid of Giselle?
Oh, I would keep Giselle.
I would keep Giselle too.
If we could see more of Jason and what's going on with them, I'd be more interested.
Aaron's like,
we're split down the middle. We need a tiebreaker for Giselle.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm keeping because she puts her all into every season. I'm sorry.
Actually, I'm keeping. Yes.
Yeah.
And her family. We all love it. Miss Sheila.
When she gave us that update on Miss Sheila and her no good.
And her no good man. Yes.
That was great insight.
So we're definitely keeping Ashley. Robin.
She can go.
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Oh, keep
Her
rocking.
tagline is, "I don't like working. I don't like being here. I don't want you to watch
Literally.
We need a
Right.
tiebreaker because I think we should keep Robin because I like to see her get hung up on. Like, I don't know why, but it's hilarious because that, like, she's standing beside him. Like, it's just like she gets mad, she goes and calls him. He either gets pissed off and hang up, or like even when she was trying to explain to him how they were pissing her off, he was like, "No, give her a chance. See what she says." It's like that man is never on your side.
Never.
And I want to see her maybe realize, hey, maybe I should not be around this man anymore. I'm the one making the money. He's literally about to lose his health insurance. What, by this time it's been a year? Does he have a new job? Whatever he's doing, she's the breadwinner now. Maybe we can get a Robin redemption season
I would
where
love to see that.
she realizes her self-worth.
But
That's such a positive attitude, Aaron.
I
at
know.
the same time,
Love the optimism. I don't think
I have
she's
to
gonna
wait
be
until like season 52.
right. Oh no.
I think Caleb, she'll be back. She'll pop back in.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. So we need a Robin redemption season. And then
Wait, real quick, do you guys think Juan will be at the reunion?
Please.
is Jason going to be there?
No.
Okay.
Jason's not that lady's husband.
It's not a husband.
No one that she ever like dates or
No, she never has nobody
I don't want
behind
to see
her.
husbands, so I'm good.
All of husbands.
Okay, so Candace we're keeping, but she needs a friend.
Yeah.
Have I changed my mind about Mia?
Yes, actually. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Next season for sure. Yeah.
The Grand Dame is Grand Daming.
Yeah. I mean,
Always.
yeah.
Okay, and then so Neka, she can go. Like I'm okay with letting her go.
Yeah.
Unless she brings something for the second half of the season. I just don't remember seeing anything in the preview, so I don't think we're gonna get it. So
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
it.
just
Yeah.
a little bit into the Salt Lake City reunion. I know, just seeing you watch. Okay, you watch faithfully. Natasha, you know enough to just converse a little bit. I thought that the first part, even though it was great to see them yell, and it was great to watch it on Peacock Uncensored, it wasn't like they didn't get to it yet, and I know why, because it's a 3-part,
Yeah.
reunion. But overall thoughts?
You know, I really liked Benchwarming Bitch. I thought that was a great comeback for Monica. I think Monica also looks really beautiful. I think her dress looks really nice. Her makeup looks great. Her hair looks great. Heather, I'm just excited to see more of Heather. I think that she is just coming. she's had a crazy arc because all throughout last season and Ultimate Girls Trip, I could not stand Heather. I was like, why won't you talk? Why won't you say who gave you this black eye? What is this like? Now we're making up all kinds of stories. I was like, maybe she did cocaine in the bathroom and fell and hit her head. Like,
Something had to happen.
Like, oh my God. And now she's, in Congress, they're quoting her now. So I think I'm just excited for Heather to not only come back like more confident, she's another one I'd like to see date. I want to see a little bit more from Heather, so I'm excited for that. But as far as the first part of the reunion too, I'm not that interested in Meredith. So it wasn't really the reunion for me. I don't really care about Meredith.
So you said something interesting that you wanted to see Heather date. That's I agree. And on top of that, I feel like we started that storyline a season or two ago, and we talked about her sex life, like Heather dating. And then all of a sudden, she was just like, "I don't want to talk about my sex life." What do you think, changed with that?
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. If you're gonna be like Uba on New York and like tease a boyfriend and then not show them and then get mad about if you ask the question, you can't get mad. You have to be like Lisa Rinna. I always say Lisa Rinna executed this perfectly. Her husband hated Housewives, hated Bravo. and would come on and serve those ladies one glass of wine and fly to Canada. And they're still together. They are still married. She just balanced it out for herself, and she made her own storyline really interesting. But if you are going to really stand by the sidelines, only do one-liners, never have an actual storyline, and then hide who you're dating, but tease who you're dating, get out of here. I don't want to see it.
Yeah. And the point of being a housewife is to show your life. And probably the most interesting, most universal theme that most people want to see is your love life. And so to just hide that portion is obviously not telling the full picture. And that's usually one of the most important and most interesting things about watching a housewife is what's going on in their relationship.
Especially after having, just in general, obviously we're dealing with a franchise that's heavy on religion, and getting a divorce is so still scrutinized in that religion. So to see you escape it, quote unquote, and then talk about it in the book, it's just, it will make it more interesting, life after this divorce as an excommunicated Mormon. Navigating that is a storyline in itself, instead of always having to
beef with your cousin or whatever.
Oh, she shoves Whitney. She beats Whitney's ass regularly.
Down. Oh my God! Do you guys have to read all the Housewife books? There's so many of them. Do you read any of them?
I haven't read them. You know what? The only thing that I listened to was Give Them Lala, and I listened to it on audiobook, and it was good. I actually do have Wendy's book, and I have Garcelle's book, and even though I may not have read it, my mama read it, so it counts as for Bravo, we're Black, so she'll tell me anything that I missed. She'll let me know. But they are all, I'm like, well, okay, with Heather, I get it, because that is a peculiar situation to be in. But there are some people who have released books that I'm just like, what do you need a book for? Just even Lala, what was that even for?
Yeah, definitely Lala. What? She's 32? What are you talking about?
Yeah, what have you been? She hasn't been through anything. I'll tell you what it was about. It was about when she was younger, how she got on the show, and how she met Randall. And that was it.
That's all she got. That makes sense.
She was very true to herself, but it was just okay, well, that's 2 hours I'll never get back. But okay, so as far as Aaron will be back, sometimes it drops out. But as far as the reunion, I think that we need to get more on the questioning of not just her working for Jen Shah and her relationship with Jen Shah. I think it might be a legal thing, but I want to know, how did she turn from, assistant into a witness against Jen Shah? Because we know that she was a witness against Jen Shah, but we haven't heard about that.
Right. And someone in our Patreon comments said that the CIA or the FBI, government agencies that are looking for people who keep secrets, recruit in Utah because everybody's so morally sound, because they are with this very aggressive church, and so they really recruit out in Utah. So it is actually very likely that she did have a friend who worked for the Secret Service, because we were like, how do you just have a friend who hasn't worked for
Casually.
Wow.
She might, yeah.
The more you know, that's so interesting. Yeah, and it makes sense, because you have to be you're supposed to be, you're supposed to be a good person in general, but especially if you're in Utah and you're Mormon and you have nothing else to do, you have to make sure that you're getting to heaven. So of course you're going to help the FBI, the CIA, the YMCA, everyone. So that makes a lot of sense, and that's what I want to see them talk about. I want to know that whole process of her turning on Jen Shah, where she was last season. Was she helping them? Was she in Beauty Lab and Laser parking lot when Jen Shah had got almost arrested? Where was she during all of these things, and her perspective of things? Obviously, you want to talk about reality vanties, but we want to say that for the end. But during the meantime, I want to know, how did you get from friend to foe? like this. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but
What did you think about the reunion?
The part one of the reunion.
Yeah.
I thought they did a great job with the whole Monica thing. I feel like Heather is really the Reese Witherspoon of this reunion.
Yes! Oh my God, that's such a good comparison.
The Legally Blonde.
Yeah, I just feel like
Yeah.
she's uncovering everything, and it's like we didn't really expect it to be Heather, as we would not expect it to be Reese Witherspoon. She's doing it.
right.
You know, it's one of those situations, but I think she's doing a good job, and I feel like she's finally finding her footing. And she's like, you know what? Maybe I can do this. I think it's like an inspirational story, and I feel like we might get another book just from
No,
this season.
Aaron, no!
We definitely are getting at least 2 more. I'm sorry to tell you, babe.
She's like uncovering reality Von Teese.
Yeah.
It's gonna
As
be
the
the
title.
book.
Okay, and I know that before we even wrap this up, Aaron, you are a big Angie K stan. And what do you feel about Angie K's stance in the community? Do you
She's
feel
a
anything?
pillar in the community of Salt
Do
Lake
you know
City.
what? She did get me back watching when she called someone a phony fucking baloney. I was like, I'm never gonna delete that from my repertoire. I was saying it in my apartment all day to my boyfriend. He was like, please. It was crazy.
But
It was crazy.
and then it was that scene, and it was her saying that Meredith's face looks like a trampoline.
But it's a
Like,
good
I don't
thing.
know. She is funny as fuck. There are moments where I'm
She
like,
is.
I like this girl, and everybody else is like, she's lame, she's whack, and I'm like, well, I don't know.
No, she turns it out sometimes, and I think she's better than Mary. Mary's got to go, in my opinion. I think Mary has ran her course.
You want Mary to go? I feel like we had the perfect amount of her. Like
Yeah,
she wasn't
but-
there to offend anyone.
Yeah.
Well, too much.
But I will say I agree, because it's like she's not really adding anything. We kind of look at her for humor.
Right.
Maybe if they did an after show where we're watching in like Mary's living room,
Oh,
and she
that's a
does
great
commentary about what
In her
she
closet. In her closet.
in her closet,
bedroom, whatever the fuck that
like the
is.
little
Yeah.
Beverly Hills after show.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
that would be great.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun because she hates them so much. So that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Angie K also, did you think during the season finale was a little too quiet because she wasn't at the beach scene? Angie K. I don't know if she was informed or not if Heather was going to break the reality Von Teese news, and then she was just sitting there like this.
Well, to be fair, Angie K is kind of in the middle. They haven't decided if they're gonna keep like
Oh, if she's like a friend of, or if she's a
if she's like a really in the circle.
okay.
Lisa,
What do they hold
Meredith,
her?
and Wendy's are like
Well, I think it was like an OG thing.
yeah.
So it was like call the OGs.
Next season, if something happens, there'll be like
Yeah, but in my head though, I was like, why isn't Angie K reacting?
Cause she knows she was Kiki Keen. Ha ha ha.
yeah, of course. And that's why
I was shut up too.
Yeah.
If certain accounts came out and got exposed on reality TV, and I was there, I'd be like,
Yeah, God.
I
Real
would be
quick.
scanning. Like even with reality Von T, since they follow us, I'm like, I hope Bravo ain't like a flashlight there. I'm like,
Because
what do
I'm
we
quick.
say?
If I see something that I agree with, I'll be like LMAO.
Oh my God, you talking to
I will
Monica
swipe
the whole
up and I will
time?
say, yeah.
Monica and Tanisha. Oh
Who
my
knows?
God. Oh wow.
God.
Knows?
But we can't wait until the we can't wait until the second part of the reunion. You guys, I don't have a wait. I think we already fixed Potomac, so we want to know as a listener or as a viewer, if you're joining us here on YouTube, what can we do to make Potomac great again? And also, what did you think of the first part of the Salt Lake City reunion? And now, you two, I want to thank you so much for joining us on this episode. Like, you guys, I definitely have to come back. We had such a good time. It's been great getting to know you guys. It's felt like a relief to get it off our chest about Beverly Hills, because we haven't been able to cover Beverly Hills as much because we had to be be looking over here and over there. But of course, when this happens, we have to take some time, reflect, and then also get our feelings out there. Like, thank you for, just holding it down and coming on. And your podcast is amazing. Your content is amazing. And thank you for also like accommodating our schedule. Please let the people know, like, obviously they already know, but like, let them know where to find you. If there's anything special coming up, is there anything that you want to announce, this is the time to do so.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having us. And we're super excited to have you guys on in a few weeks to talk Potomac on our podcast. But yeah, you can find us, Two Black Girls, One Rose, everywhere podcasts are found. We do Potomac recaps every Tuesday. Bachelor is back in next week, and we drop those on Wednesdays. And on Thursdays, we do kind of a hodgepodge of different things. So it kind of changes. But yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, everywhere podcasts are found. If you want our extended episode or video, you could join us on Patreon. And we also just started Two Black Girls Watch, which is our reaction content on Patreon. We're right now rewatching Insecure Season 1.
Wow.
That's really fun.
What a good time.
Yes. Find us patreon.com/2blackgirls1rose. Find us on Instagram, all that good stuff. And thank you guys for having us again.
Thank you so much.
Of course, this was so fun. And we will be back on Wednesday for our pop culture episode. We love you guys. We hope you have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.